yes, people, it's Packetson, and welcome back to the fucking show, son. Alright? Now, we've got a new camera, slightly different angle, and I thought, yeah, this is going to be great, mate. Gonna look sick, bruv. But it turns out, there's negatives to having a better camera, because you can see all my fucking flaws. Alright? You can see it all! You can see my fucking grey hair, my bad skin. Terrible. Anyway, here we are. Unlucky for you cunts, really, isn't it? Alright, anyway, shut up. All of you, stop it, or you're gonna get... I'll give you one up. Anyway, get your nans out, free the fucking lads. Criminal damage merch. Yeah, go buy some of that, bruv. With my discount code, link in the description. Oh, quick one! We're back on Patreon. I've rebranded it, and I've uploaded episode 1, season 4 of Top Boy reaction. Patreon exclusive, brother! We're back in the game, bruv! Anyway, shout out my man Skyboy on YouTube. He's made a new little thingy-majiggy documentary thingy. It's called The Deadly War in NorthWest London. HRB versus South Kilburn. HRB is like Freddo and that, right? And Lil Dots and that. Now, South Kilburn, I can see K Coat and I think C Biz. So shout out the spot here and shout out that spot there and shout out my man Skyboy.
There's been a war brewing in the borough
Oh, cool, let's go.
of Brent for a while now. Most of it happened in the northwest and west region of London. Today we'll be looking at two particular sets who have been at each other's throats for a minute now, and some key events involving their allies. Firstly, I'll take you to the Mozart estate, home of the gang HRB, also known as Harrow Road Boys. The estate is actually a very nice place. However, it has high levels of social need and social housing. Geography is said to be one of the explanations for the violence, as the estate, although in the borough of Westminster, is very nearby to the borough of Brent, where located are most of their rivals.
Convenient, right?
In the early 2010s, Mozart Estate and West London in general was put on the map by Ratlin after he dropped a Messiah remix. This song was...
Ratlin, I've heard of Ratlin. I've heard Digga D mention Ratlin. Yeah? In that tune, he talks about Gatlin. And then he uses Ratlin to rhyme with Gatlin. You know, like a Usain Bolt sort of... Yeah, mate.
After he dropped a Messiah remix.
Not heard that tune,
This
no.
song was ringing throughout the city, and to many it gave West London...
Jesus, you see that guy on smoke there? Was that Ratlin? In the white? Is that Ratlin? That was smoky, mate. I need to hear this tune, mate.
Throughout the city.
Look at that.
To many it gave West London...
No, that ain't Ratlin. It was Ratlin. The guy in the white. Who's that fella in the white? Smoke mode.
And to many it gave West London credibility. You see, West London is generally pretty much seen as one of the most poshest and richest sides of London.
That's weird, isn't it?
This causes a lot of people to deny any struggle or brush off any thoughts of hoods being there. It's why rappers there aren't taken serious. There's even some lingering stigma till this day. However, present day West London rappers are the face of UK drill. Oh, how the tables have turned.
Yeah.
Now let's look into the modern day HRB
Lil Dots,
set.
let's go.
HRB are allied with several sets within the Northwest region. Kensal Green Boys, Active Gang, to name a few of them.
Such a
fanboy.
fanboy.
All these sets have in common is the fact that they flag red. Now I wouldn't say Bloods and Crips are a thing in London. However, they definitely use the aesthetics to distinguish themselves from their ops for the most part. Phrases like Sue Woo and Blue Woo are also used. Modern day HRB is spearheaded by boss figure and hugely successful UK rapper Fredo. He's evidently the face of the gang. He blends a nice trap star but very fashion oriented style into his music and appearance, and is extremely rated. Now on to South Kilburn Estate, home of...
That was very abrupt cut there, wasn't it?
And is extremely rated. Now on to South Kilburn Estate, home of UK rap legend C Biz.
That's the
one.
one.
For style isn't really much different to Fredo.
I'm pretty sure isn't he also ops? C Biz like ops with nines and that and scraps, no?
Also a fashion hate who devotes his life to getting money, which is seen from his movement ER. Everything's relevant, eating right, etc. With the E being a pound sign, of course. He's seen in interviews saying ER is meant to motivate and inspire everyone, and how there's no excuse for being broke. Being broke as an able man genuinely makes him feel sick, as you can see in this interview.
Is there any excuse to be broke?
No.
Nah.
Broke.
Why?
He said that with such chest. You're like, what? Broke? I mean, I wish I could relate. I'm fucking broke as shit, mate. Alright? I'm working on it. I need my man's attitude. Look what the fuck he's wearing as well. Jesus Christ. He's got chains on his shirt, mate.
Is there any excuse to be broke?
No.
Nah.
You're an arsehole to be broke.
Why?
Did he say you're an arsehole to be broke? That's fucking out of order, mate.
And you're a man.
It depends what you define as broke. Obviously, I'm not fucking broke. I work full time, you know what I mean? But, man, I want to make peas, bruv.
KILBURN members
You know?
flag blue and are allied with Stonebridge, Ladbroke Grove, 51st, etc. Both estates, Mozart and South Kilburn, were once unified, until members from Mozart started having hostilities towards certain members from South Kilburn. This related to money issues. Over time, greed and envy led to a span of stabbings and shootings.
Sounds about right.
Escalated into murders.
Bloody hell.
Fence-sitting was no longer an option. Close friends were forced to pick a side. Focus on this particular video isn't the history, so I'll leave the in-depth storytelling of how things transpired for another video, but rather focus on strings of violence that occurred between these two once united estates. On March 4th, 2007, Tank, a South Kilburn member, was sitting in his Audi in broad daylight on Scrubs Lane in Harrow. A shooter pulled up next to him in another car and fatally shot him 3 times. The
Fucking
killer
hell.
then drove off and Tank was pronounced dead at the scene.
Jesus.
Tino Cavallella, also known as Tanks, is thought to have been part of the South Kilburn gang, and his murder is believed to have been part of a feud between his gang, Mozart, and Kensal Green Boys. On April 2012, Mozart member
Fredo, look!
shot in the chest twice.
How young he looks there. Sorry, I'm ruining the story. Let's go.
On April 2012, Mozart member Hersey was shot in the chest twice on Mozart estate by South Kilburn members.
Fucking
He was
hell.
taken to hospital, where his condition was initially described as life-threatening. However, he recovered later and was said to be in stable condition. Officers believed his assailant arrived at the estate by car.
My mate's a savage. He took 2 to the chest and fucking walked that shit off, mate. He don't give a fuck, bruv.
Condition.
He's like, what
Officers
bullet
believed
holes?
His assailant arrived at the estate by car. Sadly, just like every war, those who have
Hold on. Well, hold on. Sorry.
he recovered later and was said to be in stable condition.
Right.
Officers believed his assailant arrived at the estate by car.
He's a silent. Okay.
Sadly, just like every war, those who have nothing to do with it always get caught in between the violence.
Yeah.
And this rang eerily true when an innocent nursery teacher named Mohana was hanging out in the South Kilburn estate. 3 members of HRB opened fire into a crowd and killed Mohana as she was struck in the chest
That's
due to the
fucked.
bullet ricocheting off a nearby wall. HRB members involved in the murder will be charged, however cleared later. The murder remains unsolved till this day.
Wow. Fucking hell. I mean, lucky, really. It's just crazy, isn't it? Like, the gang member survives. And the innocent civilian fucking takes one in the chest and dies. That's mental.
Now come the mid-2010s, a new generation of youngsters came to the forefront of both estates. For Kilburn, prominent members such as 18 Clappo, 18 Mish, Broadday Ye started making music and putting
Broad day, yay. Who's my man?
Killy on the map. They now refer to themselves as SSK.
I've heard of
also
SSK.
known as
Yeah.
Southside Killy.
Okay.
The new generation mainly has problems with the same areas, Mozart and Church Road. As for HRB,
Church Road.
Fredo won in the power
That's nines and scraps, right?
areas, Mozart and Church Road. As for HRB, Fredo won in a power struggle against
Fucking look at the smoke in his eyes, brother! Fuck that, mate. Turn around, go home. Jesus Christ.
Mozart and Church Road. As for HRB, Fredo won in a power struggle against older Boss Belly after he returned from prison and saw the young boys he once told what to do became
I've heard about the Fredo and Belly beef. Boss Belly, whatever his fucking name is. That's a funny name, isn't it? And he made like a diss tune about it. My mate showed me at work the other day.
Boss Belly after he returned from prison and saw the young boys he once told what to do became bosses themselves. Fredo came out on top and kicked Belly off the block.
Really? Wow.
On July 2020, an event occurred that will change the dynamics of this beef forever. so pivotal that will lead to a string of other tragic events. Ahmed Yassin Ali, 18, aka Arms, who was close to a few HRB members, was stabbed to death.
Name.
Ahmed
Jesus
was
Christ.
found at around 12:30 am with multiple stab wounds. Officers gave him first aid and he was taken to Central London Hospital, but he tragically passed away at around 1 am.
Fucking rest in peace.
See, the
man.
death of Arms hit Billy the Kid, a HRB member and close friend of Ahmed, extremely hard. He and some friends didn't waste time in trying to get back for their fallen brother. Less than a day passed and Billy the Kid and other members rolled out via car on the Stonebridge estate, looking for members to feel their pain. Billy hopped out of the car and began firing.
You can't put shit like that in it. I'm trying to be serious, right? And my man's got fucking B-roll of these lads fucking shooting out the fucking car like a cunt.
Looking for members to feel their
I'm like really serious, like, wow, murder. And then suddenly,
pain. Billy hopped out of the car and began
look at that, come on, man.
Stonebridge
Giving me mixed emotions here, mate.
estate, looking for members to feel their pain. Billy hopped out of the car and began firing. Unfortunately for him, his ops were armed and dangerous. Stonebridge members fired back during the shootout and shot Billy in the chest. The friends in the car were also hit but drove off, leaving Billy on the floor.
No, that's fucked. So my man's close friend gets killed, right? And my man's fueled with fucking anger, rage, and revenge, right? He's like, fuck this! Yeah? Come on! Straps up, tools up with the boys. Go out on a fucking glide, alright? It's fucking glide o'clock, brother! Alright? And then he goes out on a mad one thinking he's John Wick at a fucking block. And he actually gets himself killed. Crazy, man. You know? Crazy. Didn't think it through enough. You know, should have been more strategic. I mean, you should just... you just shouldn't have done it in the first place. You know? That's fucked, man. Rest in peace to all the lads. I can't believe it. That's unlucky. You know, he wanted revenge and he ends up getting himself killed.
Where he died minutes later. Videos circulating on Snapchat of him in the middle of the street with his eyes shut as paramedics tried to resuscitate him.
Wow.
Police labelled it as a crushing defeat. Now to add salt into the wound.
Wow. You can't say things like that because that piss people off, innit? A crushing defeat. There's nothing worse, really, is there?
Wounds of his labelled it as a crushing defeat.
Fucking hell, mate.
Now to add salt into the wounds of his friends who had to leave him, they were charged for his murders. Individuals from the who had to leave him. Now to add salt into the wounds of his friends who had to leave him, they were charged for his murders.
What? What? So his mates got charged with the murder of... Surely not.
Individuals from the opposing gang who fired upon them were not identified by investigators, and members of Billy's own gang were charged with his death in what is believed to be a legal first.
Nah, that's fucking wrong, mate. How can you do that? How does that make any logical sense? Now, I get it, right? So, for example, armed response, free armed response. He's in pen right now doing a life sentence because he was there during the murder. But his team, that was his team doing the murder. Yeah, there was one team, two teams. He was on the killing team. Even if he didn't do the killing, he was on the killing team. So even though I still think it's wrong that he's doing a life sentence for not actually committing the murder, I can see why they're doing that, right? But this, my man, that was his... He was on their team. You can't get done for the murder of your teammate, right? There was no conspire to do the murder. There was no intention, and there was... You know what I mean? That just doesn't make sense to me.
People who had to leave him, they were charged for his murders.
How were they charged for his murders and the people that did the murders weren't charged for the murders? Were the police that desperate they had to get someone in on the murder? And were they under that much pressure they had to get someone in for the murder? They got the wrong people in. I don't know, that's fucked.
Individuals from the opposing
Don't get
gang who
that.
fired upon them
No, I
were
feel
not
about that.
identified by investigators,
No, I
and
feel about
members
that.
of Billy's own gang were charged
feel
with his
about that.
death in what is believed to be a legal
first. So the first time that's ever happened, they're just fucking pulling shit out the air. Pulling laws out their arse. You can't do that. Oh, not happy about that. Gonna kick off, son.
A prosecutor told the courtroom that the humiliation suffered by Billy's fellow gang members must have been more than equal the pain they felt at the loss and injuries they have been inflicted upon them.
Yeah, the whole thing's fucked. Obviously, they're with their mate. Their mate gets shot. They have to flee the scene, so it doesn't look good as it is if they've left their boy. And then they get nicked for killing him. I can't comprehend it, if I'm honest.
Mr. Glasgow QC said, adding that it also led to a defeat that had been seeing them abandon their friend to die on the streets of their rivals. Gritty and Bizzle from St. Raphael's estate were proven to not be guilty in court of his murder, but will still do time under the pretext of a law that suggests had they not got into the car with him in the first place, Billy wouldn't have died.
I mean, that's a stretch, though, isn't it? It's a stretch. You can't just assume these things, right? You can't get a nicked because you are the reason someone else killed someone. Don't know, it's a bit of a stretch. Okay, it's good they didn't get done for the murder. Okay, I was getting a little bit ahead myself there. Should have just listened to the fucking documentary. To still have to do time because, if you wasn't there, it wouldn't have happened. How do you know that, though? I mean, yeah, it would have been sensible for them to tell their mate Billy, nah. But of course they were all like, they probably all like jacked up, like, come on! Come on! You know what I mean? It was probably a team fucking decision. And yeah, it would have been sensible to just not do it in the first place. But the fact that they had to do time for that is just weird for me. I mean, they're still... I don't know. Fuck knows. Whatever.
Crazy, man. Things couldn't have gone any more wrong. This
Terrible.
was the true definition of hitting rock bottom. South Kilburn members didn't waste time to get disrespectful. Rappers MLO and Phibbs dropped one of the most disrespectful songs to come out from the beef, mocking the fact that 2 people died in the space of a day, and the intro of the song mocks the ordeal that left Billy's friends to abandon him. Now on August 12, 2020, emergency services were called to reports of a shooting in Hansel Road at 12:20 am. On Wednesday, Mr. Wegby, 26, aka Gucci, was attacked at home and was found with a gunshot wound to his chest, Scotland Yard said.
Jesus.
Despite their efforts of officers and paramedics, the man was pronounced dead at the scene.
Mental.
Shortly after, HRB rapper Little Dots, an active gang member, Broad Day, dropped a super fire drill track dissing Gucci, as well as paying tribute to their fallen friend Billy. The video was almost at 1 million views in under a day
What tune are we talking about?
before police took it down. Now
What tune are we talking about?
a string of back and forth social media shenanigans.
What tune? What one are they talking about? Is it one that I've heard? Is it one of their big ones, like Super Demons? No, that's too recent. Must have been something else, right? Anyone know? Let me know what tune they're talking about there.
Police took it down.
Mental, though.
Now a string of back and forth social media shenanigans, stabbings and shootings happened after, but fortunately nothing. The shenanigans, stabbings and shootings happened.
Did my man say shoopings? Sorry. Silly.
Now a string of back and forth social media shenanigans, stabbings and shootings happened after, but fortunately nothing fatal happened until 2022.
Look, ops getting shot out here, can't even let the woman get through to their yard in peace, man.
Wow.
What going on with you, man? Don't
Wow.
come around here and get hit up.
Wow.
Then got my residents troubling to get into their spot. Like, officer,
Jesus
start the
Christ.
forensics. Let's
Now let's take a look at Little Dots, the face of the new generation HRB.
Look
He
at
has
him.
2 brothers in Wu and G Dots.
Oh, yeah.
G Dots was sadly killed in a police chase. He was only 15 in a Nissan Micra, which is believed to have been travelling at 70 miles per hour before it crashed.
Wow.
On Tuesday, 19th July 2022,
Oh,
Wu,
yeah.
the older brother of Little Dots, was shot outside a block of flats in Queen's Park, West London.
Fucking
He took
forgot about
himself
this.
to hospital after being shot
Took himself to hospital. Wow, what a fucking trooper.
and received treatment, but died soon after. A post-mortem examination confirmed he died from a gunshot wound to the heart. and that he had also been shot in the back. Tributes flooded in from friends and family. Not many can comprehend the sheer pain his little brother was going through. To have now lost 2 brothers to the street must be gut-wrenching. But here's an interesting video from Wu a while before he passed. Here he says, "My hit has come quick."
Oh yeah, Diggy D made a tune about this recently, didn't he? He said about the siblings. That's what he's talking about.
Video from Wu a while before he passed. Here he says, "My hit has come quick."
I'm like Reese Money. See my hit, they come quick. So you might be out for a week.
Not even a month passed after Wu's death, and South Kilburn were fatally struck again. On the 4th of September, Maximilian QC, 29, aka M Low, you know the rapper I spoke about earlier, the one that made the super, disrespectful diss song towards Billy. Well, he was found suffering from gunshot wounds at Kensington High Street shortly after 2 a.m. on Sunday.
It's
He was
mental,
rushed
isn't
to
it?
Central London
It's
Hospital,
fucking mental.
where he died shortly after at 5:30 a.m.
That was mental, mate. That was an abrupt ending. Very abrupt, but I enjoyed the video. It's very well made. You know, a couple little random abrupt cuts that I'm sure won't happen if he continues making these. You know, little tiny things. That doesn't matter. Very interesting. You know, it was all to the point. There was no fucking rambling. It was very easy to understand what he was saying. Clear, concise, informational. You know, I learned a lot. I learned that it's fucking mental. It's just the whole thing's fucked. People getting killed left, right, and centre. People's family members getting killed. I want to be like, oh, this is all avoidable. You know, and technically it is all avoidable, but you know, I can't really relate. I don't know what it's like to live in that sort of situation. It's fucking foreign to me, mate. Could imagine. Sounds quite exciting, actually. A bit more exciting than my 9 to 5, mate. I'm telling you. But yeah, shout out Skyboy for the documentary. So, moral of the story is, don't join a gang, and try not to get shot. Good times. See you packheads next time.